Time for another episode of Faculty Spotlight. Today, we're going to talk to Brenda Carmona. She's the director of the Instructional Technology Center. Hi, Brenda. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to sit with me. I wanted to talk to you because I want to know more about what the Instructional Technology Center is. So tell me first, what is it exactly?
So the Instructional Technology Center, we are here in order to help faculty to create content that integrates technology into the learning experience for students.
Okay.
So that can mean projects, assignments, even assessments. So for example, if you're testing something like a comprehension and you want to do some type of discussion, you might want to do a podcast. That is something that one of our instructors, Prakash Mansinghani, our chair for government, he tends to really like podcasts for his students. Mm-hmm. So it's just really helping to elevate the way that instructors are integrating things into their courses, or reimagining or redesigning assignments, assessments, things like that.
Technology's moving really fast right now. How are you keeping up with the changes happening right now in technology, and how are faculty incorporating that into their classrooms?
Well, honestly, when I started here, I did feel already that technology was moving so quickly, and it has just kind of gotten even quicker lately, as we all know. And so I make sure to keep up with a lot of communities. Like, for example, I'm part of the EDUCAUSE community.
Okay, what is that?
So EDUCAUSE, they're an organization that focuses on technology specifically in higher education.
Okay.
And so they host an annual conference, and it's a nationwide thing. So I think last year it was in Nashville. And so that's where everybody gets together. You go to the sessions, you find out what's emerging, what's going on, what are people doing. And so there's a lot of good information that's shared in places like that.
How long have you worked for Laredo College, Brenda?
It's going to be, I believe it's 7 years.
Really?
In October.
How did you come to Laredo College?
I came to Laredo College. So actually, it's a funny story. I know you and I were talking about kind of like media or music and things like that we enjoy. And so I really like watching K-dramas. Okay. So Korean dramas. And I watched one where there was this girl, and a lot of their stories have to do with like, it's very inspiring. And so from that one, there was this girl, and she was like working 2 jobs, and she was doing all these things, and I felt very inspired at that time. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be like that person. And so I was like, let me look for another job, because I can take one right now. I was doing an internship at TAMU. Okay. And so I was doing a data analysis internship, and that was part-time, while at the same time that I was working on my degree. And so then I started looking for other opportunities, and I saw that e-learning had a part-time opening as well. And so I applied here, and little did I know, right, that I had just watched this show that completely would have changed my life, like the trajectory of my career.
So you credited to watching that show and it inspiring you?
Sort of, yeah.
Did you go to school at TAMU and do an internship, or where did you go to school?
Yes. Yeah. I came here first, so I came to Laredo College first. And then I transferred to TAMU.
Now, when you started 7 years ago, what were you doing?
So 7 years ago, I was working as a tech for the e-learning team. Okay. And so for the most part, I was a person that was like responding to a lot of tickets. Yeah. And I wanted to do it super, super fast.
Gotcha. By tickets means those are requests for support, right?
Requests for support, yeah. So they would come in through the ticketing system, and that was my thing. I wanted to get them super quick. Yeah. So I wanted to help as many students and faculty as possible with anything to do with the learning management system, which is Canvas, the one that we use.
Since you mentioned data analysis, what is that exactly?
So data analysis, really my degree when I was studying, my concentration was in management of information systems. And so that has a lot to do with the database. And so we work a lot with the student information system. That's where all the information lives, right? So on the database, what I would do in that group is we learn how to create reports based on the needs of whoever was the requester. Okay. So say if someone needed a report that would tell you how many students graduated with a GPA above 3.5 during a certain semester, I would be able to go into the system, program that report, and then that's the information that would be shared with the requester. So yeah, just putting reports together.
How has AI changed the data analysis process?
To be honest, I don't do very much data analysis these days. When I do, every now and then we have to pull out reports. That's really kind of, I became an end user rather than someone who's creating those things. But I think it has sort of, I think it's definitely changed the process on the back end. Also for interpretation, right? So it might give you an angle to say, oh, this might be a pattern. I'm gonna be so honest, I don't really use it very much for this specific use case. Yeah. So for the use case, not very much, because a lot of times too, it's very sensitive information that you don't really want to upload into those services.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
And so for the most part, we use reports to know kind of where we're locating equipment. So like for the ClearTouch, that's the most recent example I can think of. And so we just pull out the report and we say there are these many students enrolled in these classrooms. We want to make sure there's a device there.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point. And companies are having to deal with now, giving proprietary information to ChatGPT or any other AI model. Yes. That's a lot of, and especially with colleges, the student information is extremely important to keep private, right? So that's something that I know a lot of companies are dealing with, is managing that proprietary information and keeping it away from AI. How long did you work here before you became director of the ITC?
So I worked with e-learning, I think it was about a year that I was part-time. And then when I graduated, that's when the full-time position opened up with e-learning. And so that position was the technical support coordinator. And so I was sort of the lead administrator for Canvas at the time. And I did that for maybe 2-3 years. And then after that is when I applied for this position I have now.
Nice. So you hadn't finished graduating when you came to Laredo College to work?
When I started part-time, I was finishing up my bachelor's.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you deal only with faculty, Brenda, or do you also deal with students?
Faculty and students.
Okay.
Yes.
How do you work with each?
So with faculty, we sort of, a lot of it has to do with if we have like a large license for a software. For example, we just acquired Mentimeter. So what typically happens with that is that we do campaigns. So we sort of put it out there.
What is it? Sorry.
So Edpuzzle, you mean? That's a presentation platform.
No, the Mentimeter, what is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confusing my technology.
No, you're good. You have to deal with a lot of technology.
Yeah. So the Mentimeter, that one, it helps you to create interactive presentations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that one, whenever we acquire a new software, we do sort of like a launch, a kickoff campaign, and we invite faculty to participate and to see how it can be helpful for them. Mm-hmm. And then after that, a lot of times we get requests for one-on-one support. So how do I set this up in my class? So that's kind of how it works, is we put something out there and then also make sure that we encourage people to reach out so that we can look into it further or integrate it better. Also with students, a lot of times we just create workshops for them. So we invite students to come by. They usually don't come too often on their own, unless it's a specific assignment that the instructor lets them know, hey, you need to go by because they have that 3D printer that you need for this assignment. Or you have to record something. So that's when they would book the recording booth that we have for their podcast assignments, for example. So that's kind of how we mostly see students come by. But yeah, we do tend to host like open houses, or like, for example, the clickers that we have for the makerspace.
Okay.
We design sort of these interactive workshops for students to be able to come by and visit and see what's available for them to use.
Now, are faculty required to come through the ITC, or they come on their own volition? I mean, do they need to come to the Instructional Technology Center, or they come if they want?
They come if they want, yeah. We're not a requirement per se. We have, for example, some professional development, like in the OTC, the Online Teaching Certification process. Okay. So in that one, we do have a course that's part of that. And so the instructors who are teaching online, they do need to go through that certification.
Gotcha.
So that one's mandatory. But besides that, we just encourage people to come by because it's not really mandated or a requirement, but it's something that's very, very helpful and beneficial to students.
How do you keep, I mean, you mentioned EDUCAUSE, but I mean, there's so much technology that you deal with. How do you stay organized?
There is so much. I think I stay organized because it's something that I really enjoy. Oh. Yeah, so when it's like something that you're interested in, you kind of can say, oh, did you know this fact about that? Or I really like this, have you heard of it? And so for me, it's sort of a little bit of a kind of an interest of mine. And so I've always really enjoyed working with technology. And so getting to do that in the space where it's about education, for me, it's just really exciting. And so sometimes I will just go and I'll do research. Or I even look at, I know it's called X now, but I like to call it Twitter still. So I go in there and I see what other people are doing at other institutions. But yeah, just kind of researching. I just go online a lot of the time. Yeah. So because it's what you love, it's easy to keep track of. Yes. Whereas somebody like me who sees it all as technology, I get, overwhelmed. It's different. But for you, it's what you love. So it's easy. Yes. Does that make sense? Yeah, for sure. Tell me about Laredo College. How do you like working here at Laredo College? I love working at the college. Yeah. It's something that it's I guess very meaningful to me to be able to partake in someone's journey. And even if it's in a small way, because I know that what we do is like just a small part of the student's educational journey. But it's such a privilege to be able to be part of it because as for me, I know it's changed my life for sure. I really believe in education. I think that ever since I was very young, that quote was always very much a part of my personal philosophy, right? Knowledge is power. Yeah. And so I think that what we do here is so important. It enriches lives and it changes lives and it gives people opportunities. It helps us grow also as individuals. And so I think that education is so important and valuable that I'm privileged to be able to be a part of it. I like to ask anybody who deals with students on a regular basis, how would you describe a typical Laredo College student? A typical Laredo College? Yeah, like how do you you see a lot of students, how do you describe them? Who are they? How do you see them? That's a difficult question because there's just so much to try to summarize it and to put it shortly. But I will try my best. Sure. So whenever I do go, for example, out of state for conferences and they ask for introductions and tell us a little bit more about your college and things like that, I always make it a point to kind of brag about our students because I think that our setting is so unique. And it's a big part of it too, right? Like it's two cultures. And I think that a lot of times I see students that have all different kinds of journeys that they're going through. It's not one traditional stereotypical person that you can say is someone who comes here. Yeah. We get all kinds of students. And the ones that I have the privilege of working with, especially like for Phi Theta Kappa, my students that I have there, because I'm an advisor for that student club, I think that they work very, very hard and they go above and beyond. A lot of times you can see that they are really trying their best and putting their best selves forward in order to improve their whatever they're trying to achieve. So I see our students as people that are very hardworking, that are very kind, that are always trying their best, and that are trying to better their future. Like you just see how hardworking they are. Yeah, didn't turn out to be that difficult. I mean, you were able to nail it. Oh. Hardworking, and like you mentioned, when you go to conferences, you like to brag about the students, so you know who you were here with at Laredo College. What's the coolest technology you have here in the ITC? The coolest technology? You mentioned a 3D printer, but that's already like, It's me? Sorry? You think so? No, I mean, I'm saying, everybody's heard of a 3D printer. Is there anything, and it's great technology, but anything else? Is that the coolest technology you have? The coolest technology that we have? I feel like I might give a biased answer or something. But that's the point, right? That's my opinion.
Hey, this is where you work, Brenda.
So recently we got, not too recently though. So we got Pepper last year. I don't know if you've seen our robot.
I have, yeah.
And so we have been working really hard to program her and to have her be able to help the staff help out our students. And so she's neat.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does she do exactly?
So she sort of, we're progressing in how we want to really integrate Pepper. So one of the things that she is going to be working on with class is to be sort of like a front line for the tutoring center. So we are piloting her with math.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so with the college algebra courses, she'll be able to help with basic questions. And the great thing about Pepper too is that you can sort of give her guardrails. So don't give a student the answer, make sure that you're guiding them through the process. And then if Pepper doesn't really know how to help the student, because it is I don't want to say like a basic support, because it is sort of subject specific. So it's a little bit more than that. But at the same time, if Pepper doesn't know how to answer a question that the student is still struggling with,
okay,
she is programmed to refer the student to actually see a tutor or even the instructor possibly.
Yeah. How did you go about getting a robot exactly?
So that one actually was an idea that Dean Rodriguez had.
Okay.
So she acquired them through her division, and so she has one here currently, and that's the one that we work with. And then we also transferred one to class. Mm-hmm. So that's the tutoring.
For anyone who might be afraid of technology, Brenda, what would you say to them?
I think that I would say to please come visit the ITC. Please come visit the ITC because that's what we're here for. So we're here to help you out if you feel like you might be a little bit afraid, or if you feel like there's an opportunity that we can come and help you. To try and do anything within your courses. That's the purpose of our center, and we're not scared at all. And so we're so happy, and we'll make sure that when you leave that you're not scared either, because for us we have that mindset of, you're not going to break it. Like, we'll just try something and we're confident that we can help you fix whatever you need to fix when you're here with us. And so I think that we really try to instill that mindset in people that ask for our help as well.
Yeah.
Is that technology can seem kind of intimidating, but we're here to help, and we're here to show you also how to be comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So like one example is our Zoom rooms. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to see them. Okay, well, I'm going to show them to you. They're really, really cool. So we put those Zoom rooms here. And when we were designing them, we put a lot of effort into making sure that it's something that our faculty was not going to struggle using. Because personally, other video conferencing systems that I have interacted with have been kind of difficult or clunky or sort of not very intuitive.
Right.
And it would even make me feel a little bit nervous, because I'm in this realm and I'm doing all these things, and not that I was afraid of them per se, but I just knew that sometimes if one little thing in the process was off, it might be difficult to try to set up a video conference.
Yeah.
And get the course going how it needed to go, right? The lecture.
Like, you know how to troubleshoot these things, but somebody that's not familiar with the technology might have a difficult time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we made sure really to focus on our end user experience, which is our faculty. And so we designed it with the ease of use in mind for faculty. And so now we can guide them into how to set up, if they're teaching HighFlex, we help them to set up the Zoom meetings. And then when they come into the course, all they have to do is start the meeting with a push of one button. Okay. And the entire system is integrated, so everything turns on at once.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's, the Zoom rooms are for teaching courses, or is that how they teach their course? I'm not sure I understand.
Yes, so the Zoom room, it's basically a system, right? So the Zoom, it has microphones.
Okay.
And they're very sensitive, so they pick up also like the audience, because the goal with HighFlex is for the student that's joining from the other side from the other side, but it sounds very suspicious, mysterious. Yeah, so.
What's HiFlex? Sorry.
HiFlex?
Yeah.
So that is a course modality in which students are taking a class, and there are students that are in person and online at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. So then the Zoom rooms, that's when that comes in, right? So technology facilitates that modality in which the students that are joining from online are having a very interactive experience as well.
Okay.
Like as close as possible that we can make it to the people that are here.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so it's made up those microphones that also really capture our audience well. It has a speaker tracking camera, so it can follow the instructor around as you're walking and lecturing. And then it also has some confidence monitors, and it has, we're playing around with the interactive whiteboard portion of it too. And so it's a very comprehensive system for an instructor that wants to teach this kind of course. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, that's something, I forgot what the original question was, but I think it has something to do with ease of use. So it's important for us that our faculty are comfortable using these tools.
Initially, I started out by asking you what's the coolest technology, but then I don't know how we got into the next topic. But that's okay, because that's fascinating. The Zoom room is, and so Zoom room is it an actual classroom as well? You're in a classroom, and that's how it's incorporated?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see, down the line, for what you do, maybe let's say 5 years? How do you envision what you're doing right now? How's it going to change?
It could be anything.
Yeah. It's really hard to tell, right?
I envision, the core purpose for us, which is to help students and faculty with instructional technology. We'll be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to say what's coming next.
Yeah.
But I know that recently we're looking a lot into simulations. We're looking into game-based learning.
Oh. Wow.
We're looking into things like that, right? It's like what comes next? How are people learning? How are things going to change? Mm-hmm. How are things going to improve? What else are we getting to learn? And so I can say for sure that I'm also very blessed, because the instructional technology team, if anyone has had the opportunity to interact with Lily or Lizzie, they're excellent. And they're the same too. Like, they're very much fascinated with the work that we do here. And they are so happy to be able to incorporate and to show people. I know, like, for example, Lily, she's got her own 3D printer at home.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so that's kind of like her hobby too. So she goes home and she does like research, she finds cool things, and then she brings those ideas to us. Like the clickers were her idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not so much how the technology is going to change in 5 years, because that's not what you do. You use the technology, but it's how you're going to use that technology for the purposes of the college. And so you're just prepared for whatever comes next.
Yes. Yeah. Very adaptable. I think that for us, really, it seems like evolution is just a commonplace thing.
Gotcha.
It doesn't really stop. It seems like we're always just keeping up with the next thing and the next thing. And like we talked about before, technology evolves at a super quick pace. Yeah. So it's just about keeping up for the most part and being ready for whatever's coming next.
It really shows that you love what you do, Brenda. When I asked you about the Instructional Technology Center, you invited everybody to come out. You straight at the camera, like, come see us. You're very confident about what you do here, and you love what you do. Anything that I didn't ask you that you want to mention?
I don't know, not too sure. Still, it's an open invitation for faculty and students.
Where is the ITC, the Instructional Technology Center?
So we are at the LEAC building on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
Yes. So you get off the center elevator, and we are to the left.
Okay.
And there's a banner. Yeah. We got a banner.
Gotcha. So look for the banner.
Yes.
And everybody can come and see what you're up to here. Sounds good. Brenda, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And congratulations on everything that you're doing, and keep up the excellent work.
Thank you so much.